Gyronix.
In this lecture, we'll be solving rational and radical equations, and we only have two topics for this one. Of course, solving rational equations and solving radical equations. So first is solving rational equations. We have the example, solve x over x plus 3, which is equal to 1 plus 1 over x. The solution for this one is, actually I can transfer this term to the right side. So it will subtract, we have here process of addition, 1 plus this rational expression. And again, if I'm going to transfer this x over x plus 3, it will subtract to the right side. So if you remember, before adding or subtracting rational expression, the denominator must be common, right? And that's what we're going to do. So we need to find the least common denominator. Obviously, the least common denominator is we have in the left side, x plus 3. This one is over 1, right? That is understood that the denominator is 1. So we have x, and this is the common denominator, x plus 3 times 1 times x. Of course, we don't need to include the 1. So the least common denominator for this equation is x times x plus 3. The next step is I can distribute this x times x plus 3, okay, to both sides of the equation. So one thing to note, that to make the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation always equal, whatever you do in the left side, you also do in the right side. Such that if I'm going to multiply this left side of the equation by this factor, x times x plus 3, I will also multiply the right side. So I can distribute this factor to the right side also. In this way, my equation will not change. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, first, let's distribute this x times x plus 3 to the left side. So if I'm going to multiply this factor, we have here denominator x plus 3, so it will cancel out that value, right? So what remains is x times x, and that will give me x squared. Okay, next, I'm going to distribute this factor to 1. Okay, so what's the answer? Obviously, you multiply it to 1, that is x times x plus 3. And then I will distribute this factor to the last term, and it will cancel out this x, right? So it will give me just x plus 3. Okay, next is we can distribute this x to the x plus 3. So this will give me what? X squared plus 3x, right? So plus x plus 3. Okay, the next step is to transfer this x squared. So it will subtract x squared minus x squared, that is 0, right? And this one, 3x plus x is 4x. So we have 0 equals 4x plus 3. Okay, what's next? Of course, I can transfer this 3 to the left side. So it will become negative. And I can rearrange the equation. I have now 4x equals negative 3. Of course, divide by 4, both sides. Okay, so x is negative 3 over 4. So this is the answer for this exercise. And I can verify if this is correct by substituting the value of x to be negative 3 over 4. Okay, so it must satisfy the left side and the right side of the equation. Okay, so let's proceed to the next exercise. This time we are asked to solve for the value of c. Okay, the solution for this one is the same. We need to find the least common denominator. And if you notice, we have here quadratic expression. So we need to factor out this one first. Okay, so how to factor this out? Okay, I will find two numbers that when I multiply will give me negative 5. When I add will give me negative 4. Okay, so what is the two number? That is, okay, negative 5 and 1. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. So this is the factor, okay, of this quadratic expression. And if you notice, the common denominator, we have c minus 5, we had c plus 1. Okay, so we don't need to repeat this two factor, okay, or these two denominators. So the common denominator is c minus 5 times c plus 1. And the same concept as what we have done before, we need to distribute this least common denominator, okay, to both sides of the equation. But first, let's express this one into its factor, which is c minus 5 times c plus 1. And we will distribute this least common denominator, okay, to the left side and the right side of the equation. Okay, so let's distribute. First, let's distribute this one. So we can cancel c minus 5, okay. So it will have 4c times c plus 1, right? So 4c times c plus 1. Okay, next, distribute this factor or this least common denominator to the second term. Cancels out this c plus 1 and c plus 1. So we have now c minus 5 times 1. Okay? Okay, let's distribute this one to the right side. Okay, what cancels out is, of course, both of this c minus 5. Okay, cancels out c plus 1, c plus 1. So both of these factors cancel out and it will remain only, okay, 3c squared plus 3. Okay, what's next? Of course, I can distribute this 4c. So we have now 4c squared plus 4c, right? I can distribute also this negative sign. So I can have, okay, negative c, okay, negative, so positive 5. So equals 3c squared. Okay, what's next? I will transfer this 3c squared to the right side. So it will subtract 4 minus 3. Of course, that is 1. So we have c squared. This one, 4c minus c. Okay, 4 minus 1 is positive 3c. And this one I will transfer. So that is 5 minus 3, which is 2. So equals 0. So again, I have quadratic expression or equation. I can factor this out. The same method, I will take a number that when I multiply will give me 2. When I add, will give me 3. So obviously that is 2 and 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, this is the product. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, so this is my 2 factor and we know how to solve this one. Again, one of these factor must be 0. So this can be 0. This also can be 0. Okay, to make the equation equate to 0. Okay, next, so we have c plus 1 equals 0. You can equate that to 1 and c plus 2 equals 0. Okay, so this one is easy. You can transfer this 1 to the right side, negative 1. This 2 to the right side, negative 2. Okay, and that will be our answer. So c equals negative 1 and c equals negative 2. Again, I can verify this one. So I will leave this to you. So you can substitute every value of c to negative 1 or every value of c to negative 2. So the left side and the right side must be the same. Okay? Okay, so let's proceed now to solving radical equations. Okay, so we have an example. Okay, find all the real solutions for the equation x plus square root of x equals 12. So to solve for this one, we need to isolate the term with the radical side, which means this x I will transfer to the other side of the equation. So my equation now is square root of x equals 12 minus x. Then the next step is I will transfer this radical sign to the other side of the equation. Okay, so it will become what? Okay, squared. Okay, so we have an example like this one in our previous exercise, wherein if we have squared, if you recall, if you have this squared transferred to the other side of the equation, it become what? Square root, right? Okay, so with that concept, a squared transferred to the other side will become square root. So likewise, if the square root transferred to the other side will become squared. Okay, so we have now 12 minus x squared. So how to expand this one? We have shortcut method for this one. Okay, so let's expand. We have x equals. So the shorthand method is we squared this term. That is the constant term. 12 times 12 is, okay, 144. What's the next step? We multiply this 12 and negative x. That is negative 12x times 2. So negative 12 times 2 is negative 24x. And of course, we squared the variable. So negative x squared is positive x squared. Okay, so what's next? Okay, we have here x, so I can transfer to the other side. So it will subtract, right? So negative 24 minus 1 is negative 25. So my equation now is x squared minus 25x plus 144 equals 0. And we have now a quadratic equation. So to solve for the real solution for this one, we need to factor out. So we know how to factor this out, right? So I will find two numbers that when I multiply will give me 144. When I add will give me negative 25. Okay, negative 9 and negative 16. So negative 9 times negative 16 is 144. Negative 9 plus negative 16 is negative 25. So the factor for this quadratic equation is, of course, x minus 9 times x minus 16 equals 0. Okay, what's next? So in order to equate this to 0, of course, one of this factor must be 0. Right? So which means x minus 9 can be 0. X minus 16 can be 0. Okay? Now we can solve for x. So simply by transferring this value. So I have now x equals 9, positive 9, and x equals positive 16. Okay, so let's check this one. Let's substitute first 9 to this equation. Okay, so x is 9 plus square root of x. Okay, square root of 9. So equals 12 to the right side. You can do the same for the value of x equals 16. Okay, so we have 9. Square root of 9 is 3. Equals 12. Okay, so square root of 16 okay, is 4. So we have 16 plus 4. Obviously, this is what? 20. So it's not equal to 12. So which means 16 is not a factor or the value of x. Okay? But for 9, x equals 9. So 9 plus 3 is 12. So which means the only solution for this one is x equals 9. But this x equals 16 is an erroneous value. Okay, so next example, find all the real solution for the equation 2p raised to 4 over 5 equals 1 over 8. The first thing I can do here is to remove this coefficient 2. So by multiplying both sides by 1/2, right? So I can distribute this 1/2 to the left side and the right side of the equation. Of course, 1/2 times 2 will cancel that out. So I can have now p raised to 4 over 5, and this one, okay, 1/8 times 1/2, so 2 times 8 is 16. Okay? So numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. So that's how we multiply rational expression. Okay, what's next? I want to cancel out this exponent 4 over 5 by multiplying to its reciprocal. So both sides, take note, both sides of the equation. So 4 over 5 times 5 over 4. Okay, so it will cancel this 5, this 4. Of course, if I'm going to multiply the left side, I'm also going to multiply the right side with that the same value, 5 over 4. Or not multiply, raised to the exponent rather. So if I'm going to raise the left side to a certain exponent, I'm also going to raise the right side to a certain exponent. So for the left side, we cancelled out that 4 over 5. So we have now p raised to 1 or just p. And we have here exponent. Take note, by the rule exponent, we can distribute the exponent over a quotient or division. So I can distribute the exponent to 1 and 16. Okay, so this is my new equation. 1 raised to 5 over 4 and 16 raised to 5 over 4. Okay, what is 1 raised to 5 over 4? Of course, that is 1. A 1 raised to any number will equal to 1. In the denominator, so we have 5 over 4. Okay, 16 can also be expressed as 2 raised to 4, right? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that is 16. And we have now an exponent raised to another exponent. So I can multiply, right? So it will become 4 times 5 over 4. It will cancel out that 4. So which remains 2 over 5. Okay, so again, it will cancel out that 4. Okay, so what is 2 raised to 5? You multiply it to 5 times. So that is 1 over 32. And that is the value of p. So next, we need to check. Okay, let's substitute that 1 over 32 to this equation. So that is 2 times, take note, this is not included. We multiply that to cancel out the 2. Okay, so only this equation, 2 times p raised to 4 over 5. So 2 times p. So this is the p, 1 over 32 raised to 4 over 5 equals 1/8. And we can also try not only positive but of course the negative value. Okay, so this is 4 over 5. I can distribute this exponent to the division, right? Okay, so again, I can distribute. So numerator, denominator, numerator, denominator. So I have now 4 over 5 distributed over division. Okay, what's next? So we have 5 as the denominator. So if you remember, the denominator will be the root of the radical. So this is, okay, the fifth root. Then the numerator will be the exponent. So numerator is the exponent, denominator is the root. Okay, so first, this one, that is the fifth root of 1. Of course, you multiply 1 5 times, that is 1. So the same with the left side. Take note, we have negative here. So negative 1, if you multiply it 5 times, okay, so that will give you negative 1. So which means the fifth root of negative 1 is, okay, also negative 1. But if this is, the root is even number, let's say the fourth root, then the answer for this one is imaginary. But since this is odd number, so of course, you can multiply negative 1 5 times, it will give you negative 1. Okay? So how about the fifth root of 32? So what number when you multiply 5 times will give you 32? Obviously, that is, okay, 2. So this is now our equation. Of course, 1 raised to 4 is 1. How about this one? Okay, you multiply negative 1 4 times, that will give you positive. Right? Negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So 2 raised to 4, multiply 2 4 times, that is 16. Okay, so we can cancel out now, or we can multiply that 2. So it will reduce this to lowest term. 2 divided by 16 is 8, right? So we have now 1 8 equals 1 8. And therefore, the value of P is both, okay, positive and negative. And this is the answer. And I hope you have now a clear understanding in simplifying algebraic expression, solving those quadratic equations up to this solving radical and rational equations. And for our next lecture, we will dive into linear algebra and we'll be solving systems of linear equations. So see you there.